Good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. Ginny, thank you for meeting me here. To the rest of you, let me know you're here. I'll greet you. This is like being Miss Marianne on Romper Room all over again. Hi, boys and girls. So, yeah, I think this is the first time in over a year that I literally overslept. Yeah, I woke up at 6:01 this morning. You still see the bags under my eyes? I literally did nothing but come into the kitchen, make my coffee, open my computer, type a little message to you, and here I am. Ta-da! Busy night, but oh, what a fun night. What a fun day. I walked twice yesterday. Yeah. First, I met one old friend, and I walked along the Esplanade in Redondo Beach. I saw more dolphins in an hour than I think I've seen in the last 3 years. Okay, so that may not mean a lot to all of you, but the dolphins run up and down the beach here, but you don't always see them. And some days you'll see a dolphin jump out of the water, and it's like, oh my God, that was so great. But yesterday, seriously, I bet you we saw 3 dozen dolphins just playing, running, jumping. Oh, they're beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Then I did something I haven't done since the pandemic began. I had my eyebrows waxed. I got a manicure. I got a pedicure. Oh, it was heavenly, heavenly pampering day. Oh, seriously wonderful. Now, this morning, maybe because I've only been awake a few minutes, I can't see anything except that there is writing in the chat box. So let me just see there. Oh, Ginny, thank you. She said it's okay to oversleep. Look, I'm not going to lie. I woke up at 5 and I looked at the clock and I thought, that's not enough sleep. You could get up in a half an hour, but I didn't. I got up in an hour. Okay. So I did it. I mean, I did wake up in time and then I went back to sleep. That happens, right? It's going to be a beautiful morning. Can you see out the window? Probably not as well as I can. Ah, it's a little foggy this morning. It's almost June, and the beach is known for its June gloom, but boy, there wasn't any yesterday. I can tell you that. Then I called one of my dear, dear friends from high school, and I said, look, I don't know if you're around, but if you're around, I would love to come drive by your house, pick you up, and let's go to lunch and for a walk. So we went to Terranea, which is on the far side of Palos Verdes. First of all, it was great fun just getting there because reminiscing with her about the high school days and all the different places we passed on the way to where we were going for lunch. We passed a gas station in Lenata Bay, and I had this like incredibly sharp memory of Cole Fullwider. She's a doctor, I think, now. We're friends on Facebook. If you're watching, hi, Cole. Cole was the only one of us at the time who had a car. She had a 54 Ford or something like that. Yeah. And she used to drive us all to school. And to say thank you, we would pitch in and we would buy the gas. So once a week, we would stop at the gas station in Lenata Bay and fill up her car, the 3 of us who got rides. And in order to do that, we would each pitch in a quarter, or 50 cents rather, 50 cents. So for $1.50, no kidding. So I think it was like a quarter a gallon. For $1.50, we'd have enough gas to go to school for a week. You can't get across the street for $1.50's worth of gas anymore, I don't think. Not sure. My hair looks a little funny because I had a new hairstyle last night, and I was going to show it to you this morning because it was so cute. It was all pulled up and then it was pulled back. It was really cute. I'll do it one morning, I promise. It didn't take that long, but since I was late this morning, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Yeah, those were the days. Do we sound like our parents now? Back when I was a child. Anyway, it was really awesome. And then we took this walk. We ate at a place called Nelson's, out on like picnicked outside in the fresh air. Beautiful day overlooking the cliffs at Palos Verdes. For those, sorry, I can see myself and I can see my hair's a mess this morning. For those of you who don't know, Palos Verdes is the westernmost spot in the continental United States. Yeah, it like juts out at the end of California there. And we were like literally dining at the almost at the edge of the cliffs. And then we went, excuse me, then we went for a walk on the trails along the water, and we came across a bed of poppies. And if you follow me on Facebook, my personal page, which is not private, you're welcome to go look. There's some pictures there of that particular walk. Came home and had an early Mother's Day with my kids. Went out for an amazing Vietnamese dinner. And it was almost like sharing poo-poo platters, you know? It was like we got one thing after another. There must have been 10 different dishes, 12 different dishes, and we tried everything, and it was so good. And okay, lots of good Pinot Noir again. And I've had lots of drink on this trip, but I only usually drink one glass at a time, so it's not too bad, right? At least I hope not. So, okay, I should look at my notes because mostly I'm just telling you what's going on here. But what's really important, it is International Respect for Chickens Day. Yeah, respect your chicks. I mean, think about it. We have a lot of words that we use in our common vernacular that came from just watching chickens. Pecking order, hen parties, cockfights, chicken fights. Don't be a chicken. You're a chicken. What else? What else? What else? I don't know. But they all came because if you watch the way chickens live, it's all things they do. Did you ever notice after you get a manicure, you tend to show your nails more? They're very short, but they're very clean and pretty. And oh, it's so good to get the cuticles done and the hot towels. I know you can do it yourself, but it's just not the same, is it? Oh, it was wonderful. I couldn't stop thanking the girls who were working on me. It was good to be pampered. It's good to be pampered. Okay, what else? It is National Foster Care Day. Kelly, if you're out there, mommy still loves you. I had a foster daughter for a number of years. Kelly was one of my students when I was a teacher, and she ended up being my foster daughter for years. She looked like a little Barbie doll. Man, she was adorable. What an experience. Yeah, maybe not a, one to share in public, but she brought me so much joy. I was married for 6 years before I ever got pregnant. Not because I didn't try, because I just couldn't get pregnant for some reason. Nobody knew why. And the same week that I found out Kelly was coming to live with us, might have been the same night, Donnie was conceived. It happens all the time. Well, Indy, you're here. Good morning. I miss you. I'll see you for dinner tonight. I'm coming home after my doctor's appointment. What else? It's bird day. I mean, we're talking about chickens, so, birds are kind of similar, right? Birds of a feather flock together. That's a chicken thing too, by the way. That's why we put the tiny chicks together and the older chicks together. In fact, they say to us, they told us, don't put a chick of one kind with another kind because that's who they'll go after. Good morning from him. It's National Candied Orange Peel Day. That sounds so disgusting to me. I can't even imagine, but I know a lot of people like it, so go right ahead and enjoy. It's National Teachers Day. Wow. Can you imagine having to teach in the classroom and then switch gears and learn how to use a computer and teach from by computer from home and then switch gears? And now they're calling it hybrid learning because they're in school part of the day and at home learning on the computer part of the day. I'm getting so concerned about the children who are being left behind in all of this. That's going to be one of the disasters we have to clean up when it's all over. Oh, speaking of disasters, all along the beach where we were walking, there were big yellow and black signs, like caution colors that said all Thursdays starting this Thursday, they were having like evacuation practices or something. Apparently, word has it that there's the potential of a giant tsunami on the way. So they're getting everybody prepared just in case. This is how you leave low ground and get to higher ground. I I only remember once in all the years that I lived here, and I lived in the South Bay, somewhere near water for, since 1960. There was one time when the waves were so huge that literally took out the pier. And I don't mean just like a fishing pier. I mean a pier with stores and shops and took out the whole thing. And I remember like on day 3 when it was a little safer, going down and watching the waves still coming in, and they were coming way over this huge beach onto the street. It was very scary. It was very scary. It's Renewal Day. You know what that means? New beginnings. Now, there's something to think about. What if you taken for granted or decided, nope, done, but you really didn't want to be done with it? Try renewing, rejuvenating, starting fresh in your head. Taking a new look at the same old things a new way. Yeah, you can do that if you want to, but you gotta wanna. Yeah, you gotta wanna. Okay, it's also Star Wars Day. This is the best thing about today, right? You know why? Because it is, get this, it's Tuesday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Bam. That's almost like a dad joke, isn't it? I brought my dad jokes just in case. Wait, let me see if there's one I didn't do yesterday. My friend claims he glued himself to his autobiography. I don't believe him, but it's his story and he's sticking to it. Okay. And Ginny, you're so right. Every day is a new beginning. So I guess you could say every day is Renewal Day, but we're not just beginning. We're taking something and we're renewing it. Like renewing our belief, our faith, our love, our efforts. We're renewing them. Yeah, like it's been here before, but we're doing it again. Audrey Hepburn's birthday. We've talked about Audrey Hepburn quite a bit because she was like, besides being so incredibly beautiful, she had some really wise things to say. This is the one that I picked out of her quotes for today. To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. That seems like it's like such a heavy, beautiful thing. I have trouble picturing her saying it. It sounds like something that would have been said in ancient times. Oh, oh yes, in ancient times by the wizened ones. Yes, to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. Have faith, my friends. I guess that's kind of, the theme going through. What else? Oh, it was the first Grammy Awards in 1959. Perry Como, Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, and the Kingston Trio. I mean, come on. It doesn't get any better than those guys, does it? Ugh. My mother was a Perry Como lover. Oh, she loved Perry Como. We watched his show every week. Yeah. Letters, we get letters. We get lots and lots of letters. Dear Perry, will you be so kind to sing our request? Oh, sing the song we love best. That's how he ended his show every week. He would take a request from one of his fans, and he'd have this big bag of letters, and he'd pull one out, and Papa loves mambo. Anyway, my mother loved Perry Como. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket, save it for a rainy day. My father, on the other hand, was a die-hard Frank Sinatra fan. So in our house, I can't say there was no music, but it was either Perry Como or Frank Sinatra. There wasn't much in between. Although 40s music, my parents were the most amazing dancers. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have like 4 left feet in general, but I love to dance. And I know I got that love of dance from them. I just can't follow directions. So I have to do free form, but I love dancing. At all of our family parties, my parents would like take the dance floor, and the two of them would put on a show for the rest of us. They were fabulous. Frank Sinatra, Perry Como, big bands, you name it. Just glorious. Al Capone went to prison for tax evasion today. Yes, not today, but in 1933 or something like that. Isn't that interesting that with all of the things that he was known to do wrong, it was tax evasion that finally got him put into prison? Hmm. Depending on your age, if you were around in 1979 and conscious, you remember what I think was probably one of the first heavily talked about newsworthy events where there was a clash between students and police here in the States. That would be Kent State. Kent State, wow, that was really scary. 4 people were killed. It was like, you got to get this. In 1979, if there was an event, a domestic event, and 4 people were killed, that was huge. Are we becoming like so numb to death that 4 people killed sounds like, oh, well, that wasn't so bad? It scares me that we're becoming too used to it. Oh, that was 1970. Did I say 79? It was 1970. It was pretty early on, but it was when I was in college. So it was pretty shocking to those of us in college. When I was in college, oh yeah, I had long hair, longer than this, perfectly straight, parted in the middle, protesting like crazy. I never got thrown in jail. But when something mattered, we went out and said, hey, this matters, and we're protesting. Bam. That's the way it was. Okay, moving on. 1979, just 9 years later, Margaret Thatcher was the first female to become a head of state, in particular, well, to become a head of state in England anyway. She was the first female prime minister of the UK. My strongest memory of this day, as I went through and looked at all the things that happened on this day, was in 1992, when the US Army and the Marine Corps came to LA to help put down the riots that started after the police who beat up Rodney King were acquitted. And Los Angeles went crazy. I mean, it was as close as I can remember ever feeling like I was in a war zone. 63 people were killed in those riots. 63 people. There was over $1 billion of damage. Ginny, you remember it. You were on the valley side. I was in the Palos Verdes side, and everything in the middle. We couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't. Every loud noise, you would jump. It was just. It was literally. It was. Am I right, Ginny? It was like being in a war zone. It was so frightening. Such a frightening time. Okay, but this is not a frightening time. Well, I mean, there's some things always to frighten us, I guess, if we want them to, but I choose to look up the other side of things. Thank you very much. And check out today's word art. I posted it kind of late, so I'm not sure if you got to see it yet, but it's let happiness jump all over you. And there's no explanation that I gave of it. Just request was picture it. Just picture happiness jumping all over you, because you can't help but be happy when there's a little happiness thing jumping all over you. Yeah, wow. All right, so thank you, Ginny. Ginny said she loves it. I don't know where that came from, but I just suddenly one day had this image of happiness just bouncing around. Yeah, good stuff. So it's Tuesday, and I'm in Hermosa Beach, California. Ergo, the water behind me and the palm trees. I hope you can see them. They're so beautiful. Anyway, I'm here, and today is the reason I'm here. I'm here to get shot in my hand, maybe both hands. I don't know. I have trigger finger. Do you know what that is? If I make a fist, which hurts to do, by the way, only 4 of my fingers come back up when I'm done. This one does not come up on its own. That's why they call it trigger finger, because, well, I guess this is really a trigger finger, huh? I don't know. All I know is they call it trigger finger, and in order to get this finger to move, I have to literally put it back with the other fingers. So I had a cortisone shot about 6 months ago. I'm going to get a second one. That's really all I'm allowed to have. And if this one doesn't work, the other one worked for 6 months. It was great. If I get another 6 months, I'll be happy. But then you can't have a third one. You have to have surgery. And that'll keep me from playing tennis. I can't let that happen. Okay. But I think Katie puts out a new mug for me every morning, so you can see that a lot of people have all different kinds of mugs. And this one was so perfect this morning. I have a friend's mug. Okay, wish me luck at the doctor, because I'm not very brave. I wish you guys a glorious Tuesday. Indy, my love, I will see you this evening for dinner. Pet the chickens, kiss the dogs. Oh, you get yours in your knee next week. So, Ginny, here's to you and me and cortisone with a sip and a smile and a day of happiness jumping all over you. Mwah! See you tomorrow morning back in the desert. Bye-bye.